Location, location, location. That's what they say it's all about. And in downtown Chicago, the Merchandise Mart, that's a location. It's one of the largest buildings in the United States, and it actually has its own zip code here in downtown Chicago. Along the Chicago River, it's been beautified in recent times to make it more of an experience for people visiting the center. And we're so happy to be there today for the One of a Kind show. Welcome. Welcome to Fashion Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith, the One of a Kind show. It's been operating for many years here, and if I haven't been there before, it seems like the first time visiting recently. But it was truly a pleasure visiting the One of a Kind show. One of the first things that greeted me on the sixth floor was this artist featuring some tulips, paintings of tulips, and I have visitors, family visiting from the Netherlands currently, and it's caught my attention. And we had a good chuckle with the artist because she's actually from Argentina. A lot of art. I wasn't particularly in the market for art today, but it was a lot of art, a lot of variety of colors and shapes and genre and mediums, textures and surfaces throughout the show. It's black and white versions caught my attention, as did a number of prints and artful designs throughout the show. These manhole cover uh, portable movable door floor mats was amusing. It caught a lot of attention, and I have to say I was kind of drawn in by it. Barbie caught my attention because one of our Fashion Coffee Hour members is Barbie fashion collector, and this artist actually is from Canada and does these really interesting generations with this shimmery surface that kind of changes direction as you walk by the art. Very interesting and captivating. Of course, I was at the One of a Kind show on invitation of my artist friend Allison Lyons, who exhibited at the spring show, as she did also at the December show. And she had a great collection. I kind of compare her work to Cy Tomley a little bit. She journals and then incorporates her journal pages into her artwork. She's got original artwork available and prints, and the rest of the year she's at the Fine Arts Building here on the sixth floor. You're welcome to stop by anytime, especially on the second Fridays of each month. Again, I'm not a fashion person, but I was scouting out fashion whenever I had my Fashion Coffee Hour hat on, and this designer caught my attention. Very simple, structured shapes, which I appreciated the shape, and then paired with interesting prints. She designs the prints and the shapes. She's currently looking for a pattern designer to help take her company to the next level. But it was fun talking to her, and I think she had a nice look and a nice presentation. More fashion, quite a variety. These were primarily like pashminas and draped scarves and things, which we forget. The tourist industry here in Chicago and elsewhere around the country, quick fashion or fast fashion has a different meaning when you're freezing your behind off. You need to grab a scarf or a pashmina shawl. A lot of sophisticated fashion. I talked to a number of different designers who design and manufacture and sell their apparel online at these shows and also at local retailers around the country. Here in Chicago, a couple of designers told me that they are in my sister's circus and also at the Theodora store in the Monadnock building in downtown Chicago. This designer I didn't have a chance to talk with, but I thought this was an interesting shape. And she has this same design basically in quite a variety of different colors and fabrics. The silk scarves caught my attention. They were very Hermes-like, and the quality actually was very good. Um, Very nice to see. And they also were coupled with a whole table full of men's ties, silk ties, which startled me. We don't see ties that often. We don't see stuff for men that often. But after I noticed the ties for men, I did notice there were other vendors with men's ties and things that would be of interest to both men and women. Because I'm a visual merchandiser primarily, I then focused in on really who was doing the best job in presentation. And I might not advocate for mass chaos or too much merchandise, but I did feel people that made a splash tended to get the most attention and kind of stood out from the crowd and actually they added to the kind of the festive pop-up atmosphere of the show. Some, of course, had nicer presentations than others, but they were all appreciated and seemed to be well incorporated with what they were selling. This was bees, wax, and honey products paired with this kind of fun striped backed fabric. This lady, I stopped and told her if I was giving awards for visual display, I would give her the minimal display award because that was just clean and simple. She sells skin care products. I told her I try to avoid all skin care, and I think sad to say, I think she did take my word for that. But I told her I'd give her the award for minimal, clean design. There's hard to see here, but they had a couple extension cords for these plug-in illuminated shelves, which I just thought even added to the the whole deconstructed minimal quality of her display and charming talking to her. This is another big splash of color and products, which caught your attention and kind of drew people in. Jewelry. Again, I'm not a fashion or jewelry person, obviously. And I realized there's a fair amount of jewelry, which it was invisible to me. We all have our lens and our interest level, and that kind of dictates what we see. And I was aware that halfway through the show, I was uh, oblivious of the jewelry. It was invisible to me, but there was a lot of it. And it was all pretty well presented. This was one of the nicer presentations that was easier to photograph. And oftentimes there was a big crowd of people around the jewelry. Color, I'm always looking for color, and the booths that had strong color story. Of course, I always going to give that credit because I think that's always the first go-to in whatever kind of presentation you're making is a strong focus on color. Another big splash of color for the salsa display, kind of zany, but it's pretty in keeping with the fun festival-like nature of the show. Fun presentation of textile arts and collectible items here. Pretty good crowd at the show. I was there on Saturday, and nice buzz, very bright and inviting, fun group of people, happy, pleasant, kind. It's the kind atmosphere, one of a kind. Can't go wrong with that. They had a number of food vendors and a large, ample seating area for people who were going to have lunch or have a coffee break during the show. This photo I took just because I loved this lady, but I couldn't just say, oh, I want to take your picture, lady. But this designer is a textile designer, and she makes lampshades and runners for tables. And they kind of had made it a family affair. And I appreciated that. I did have to say halfway through the show, it became a people experience. I ran into people I knew, people said hello to me, and I had some fun conversations, and it became a people experience as much as a show, art, or crafts festival. This is some of the lampshades. I think they were in like the $400 range. She seemed to be pretty accomplished and pretty successful selling these lampshades. It reminded me of Frank Lloyd Wright. And she says she has lots of people who travel the world and they remind them of different cultures and different ethnicities. But I guess because I'm from Chicago, I was relating it to architecture. And this is a close up of some of her table runners. Again, I see Louis Sullivan and Frank Lloyd Wright in there, but everyone's welcome to see what they want to see. This guy had to come back. I had to double back to take this guy's picture because I was too embarrassed to take it the first time. But I came back because anybody who puts horns on for a public event, I got to give him a special award for this. I think he was selling stories, narratives, fanciful narratives for children and adults alike. We're all living in a challenging time and we're all looking for kindness, whatever your kind is. If you can intermix and mingle with other people and be kind together, I can't think of a better opportunity to do so than at the One of a Kind show here in Chicago. If you would like to join us at Fashion Coffee Hour, we will be doing an analysis of the One of a Kind show and also Expo Chicago at Monday evening's Fashion Coffee Hour. I'll include my email in the description of this video, and I'll be happy to give you an invitation to this evening's coffee hour or an upcoming coffee hour. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.